Bodybuilders look impressive in photos, but they can't run a mile. Runners are lean, but have zero muscle mass. Hybrid athletes, guys training strength, cardio, and mobility, have the physiques that everyone actually wants. Specialization. Most guys pick a lane. You're either the gym bro who only lifts or the cardio guy who runs 6 days a week. Bodybuilders maximize muscle mass, but ignore cardiovascular health. Their physiques look good in controlled lighting, but they're carrying more body fat than you think. Their faces are bloated from bulking, and their cardio markers are terrible. Runners and endurance athletes go the opposite direction. They're lean, but they have no muscle mass. Their testosterone is crushed from overtraining. Hybrid training fixes all of this. Let's start with bodybuilders. Eating 4,000 plus calories to maximize muscle gains means you're carrying way too much excess body fat. Your face loses all definition. You look big in a shirt, but your actual aesthetics suffer. And functionally, most bodybuilders are pretty immobile. Poor shoulder mobility, can't sprint, can't jump, and can't move that well. Big muscles with no function is a bad trait for aesthetics. Endurance athletes are lean, sometimes too lean, and they have no muscle mass. Their physiques are flat. A 2017 study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology found that high-volume endurance training significantly lowered free testosterone in male athletes. You end up lean but weak. You look small in clothes and fragile without them. Plus, chronic cardio without resistance training accelerates aging. You lose muscle mass, your metabolism drops, and your body composition gets worse over time, even if you weigh the same. Being skinny isn't the same as being aesthetic. Now here's the hybrid athlete. Strength training for muscle mass and bone density. Cardio for cardiovascular health and fat loss. Mobility work for injury prevention and movement quality. The result? Physique that actually functions. A 2021 meta-analysis in sports medicine found that combining resistance training with aerobic exercise produced better body composition outcomes than either alone. You build muscle while staying lean. Your metabolism stays high, and your cardiovascular system stays healthy. And aesthetically, hybrid athletes have the best of both worlds. Lower body fat means better facial definition, but you're not overtrained, so your testosterone stays high and your face stays masculine. Your physique has shape. You look athletic, not just big or skinny. And from an attraction standpoint, women rate athletic builds as much more attractive than bodybuilder or endurance athlete physiques. A 2007 study in evolution and human behavior found that women highly prefer moderate muscularity with low body fat, exactly what hybrid training produces. There is a lot of hybrid training routines out there, but the problem is they're overloaded with volume. They're built by influencers that work out 7 days a week for a living, or they're juiced up. What actually matters is how you structure your training. We did in-depth research on a hybrid protocol that is scientifically backed, effective, and most importantly, realistic for the average guy. Rule 1. Separate your sessions. When you do cardio immediately after lifting, you shut down the molecular pathway responsible for muscle protein synthesis. You're literally turning off the signal that tells your body to build muscle. Research shows that you need at least 6 hours between sessions to avoid this. 24 hours is actually optimal. So the best setup is cardio in the morning, weights in the evening, or cardio and weights on completely separate days. If you absolutely have to do both in one session, lift first and cardio second. Never the reverse. Rule 2. Avoid the middle. Elite endurance athletes follow something called polarized training. 80% of their cardio is low intensity, 20% is high intensity. They almost never train at a moderate pace because moderate cardio is the worst of both worlds. It's too hard to recover from, but it's not hard enough to drive real adaptation. This means your cardio should either be low intensity or high intensity, where you're near your max, nothing in between. And most of your cardio will be low intensity. It won't feel impressive, you won't be drenched in sweat, but it's where the magic happens. High intensity, on the other hand, shares similar cellular pathways with resistance training. So when you do go hard, go hard. Sprints, intervals, 20 minutes max, then get out. The aesthetic. Before we get into training, understand that hybrid athlete has become its own aesthetic, and that's a big part of the appeal. Look at any hybrid training creator. They're not just lean and muscular. They have a complete look: clean, minimalist gym fits, polished grooming, and an organized lifestyle. The physique is the foundation, but the presentation matters just as much. Traditionally, lifters focus just on numbers, how much they could bench and how big their arms can get. But hybrid training attracts guys who care about the complete package: your physique, how you dress, how you carry yourself. The hybrid part isn't just adding running to your lifting program. It's an entire shift in how you approach your body and your image. You're optimizing for real-world aesthetics. You want to be a lifter that looks like they run, not a runner that looks like they lift. This means keeping a 2-to-1 ratio of lifting to running days. For a basic template, I recommend 3 to 4 days of weight training with a focus on compound movements and progressive overload. 2 to 3 days of cardio, 2 low-intensity sessions at 45 to 60 minutes. I highly prefer incline walking or the Stairmaster. 1 high-intensity session at 15 to 20 minutes. My favorites are sprints and hill runs. And take this seriously as your lifting days. Spend about 10 to 15 minutes on hip mobility, shoulder mobility, and spine mobility. A sample week looks like this. That's 4 lifts, 2 to 3 cardio sessions, and all with completely manageable volume. Provided you also have a good diet, you're gonna be muscular, but lean enough for facial definition and visible abs, but not so low that you crash your hormone. Now, if you want more details, including specific training routines, a diet protocol, some mobility work, and just a more in-depth hybrid training protocol in general, I highly recommend you pick up the Hybrid Training Handbook. I'll put a link to it in the description. With that said, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for much more.